The chiefs have performed their sacred responsibilities. Our people have gathered in unity and happiness. Visitors have come from every part of Ghana. The institutions of Dagbon have functioned exactly as tradition requires. There has been order, there has been dignity, there has been peace. Ladies and gentlemen, we should never take this for granted. Peace sometimes arrives so quietly that we forget how precious it is. But those who have experienced conflict before know that peace is one of God's greatest blessings. The peaceful atmosphere that surrounds us today is itself a great testimony to the life and leadership of His Royal Majesty Ndanyana Abukari II. His greatest monument is not made of bricks and concrete. It is not found in structures and buildings. His greatest monument is the peace we are witnessing today. That peace did not happen by accident. It was deliberately built. It was patiently nurtured. It required wisdom and sacrifice. And it also required forgiveness and reconciliation. It required leadership of the highest order. His Royal Majesty Ndanyana Abukari II inherited a kingdom that was emerging out of one of the darkest periods in its history. The wounds of the Dagbon conflict were deep, and distrust lingered among families and communities. And yet, he consciously chose reconciliation over recrimination and made peace the guiding principle of his reign. He understood something that every great leader understands. A leader does not become great by defeating his opponents. A leader becomes great by removing the reasons why people become opponents in the first place. That was the philosophy of the late Yana, my father. He often declared, "I love those who build bridges of peace, but I do not like those who destroy the peace." Those words were not simply a slogan, they became the compass that guided his rule of Dagbon. He built bridges where others would have built walls. He encouraged dialogue where others anticipated confrontation. He healed wounds that many believed would never heal. And one of the remarkable qualities of the late Yana was that he never saw reconciliation as a sign of weakness. He saw it as the highest expression of strength. The legacy brief prepared by the Gbewa Palace reminds us that he consistently pursued reconciliation between the royal gates and made decisions that placed the unity of Dagbon above personal or sectional interests. His reign also saw important institutional reforms, including the adoption of a formal Dagbon constitution intended to strengthen governance and reduce future disputes. That is a kind of leadership that changes history. History remembers those who chose courage over convenience. History remembers those who place the future above the present. History remembers those who work to unite their people. And His Royal Majesty did exactly that. Peace is not simply the absence of conflict. Peace creates opportunity. Peace attracts investment. It allows children to go to school. It enables farmers to cultivate their fields. It allows traders to carry out their businesses without fear. It gives young people confidence that their future will be brighter than their past. And that is why the work of the late Yana extended beyond reconciliation. He sought to position Dagbon for development, and he encouraged long-term planning. He welcomed government after government, development partners, diplomats, and investors to the Gbewa Palace because he understood that peace must produce tangible improvements in the lives of the people. As president, I have known Ndanyana, my father, for a very long time. I had the privilege of interacting with His Majesty on many occasions when he was Yona in Sablugu and again when he was the Ndanyana. Our discussions were always centered on the welfare of his people. He never approached government to seek personal favors for himself. His concern was always about the progress of Dagbon. He spoke with me passionately about the road network in Dagbon. He spoke about uplifting education, He spoke about providing water for the people. He spoke about agriculture, jobs for young people. He spoke about the need to ensure that Northern Ghana would realize its full potential. His patriotism was unquestionable. His vision was always larger than himself. The late Yana demonstrated that traditional leadership and democratic governance are not competitors. Indeed, we are partners. Government will continue to work closely with the traditional authorities of Dagbang to preserve the peace that has been painstakingly built over the years. We owe this responsibility not only to today's generation, but to generations yet unborn. My brothers and sisters, the installation of a new regent of Dagbang, Kampakuyana Yakubu, carries more than just symbolism. And I pledge to Kampakuyana to work closely with you to fulfill the dream of your father, to continue working on all the development projects that we started during your father's reign. I commend the regent for his very uplifting speech this afternoon and his solemn pledge to uphold the time-tested traditions of Dagbang over and above his personal interests. As I conclude, it is my prayer that not too far in the future, we will again gather here at this very spot to witness the installation of the new overlord of Dagbang. I also wish to assure His Royal Highness the Regent that I've asked the National Security Council Secretariat to ensure that the palace is completed before the installation of a new Yana takes place. When future generations study the history of Dagbang, they will undoubtedly speak about the reign of Ndanya and Abukari II. They will say that he inherited uncertainty, but he left behind stability. They will say that he inherited division, but he left behind unity. They will say he inherited mistrust, but he left behind confidence. As we depart from Yendi today, let us carry with us the lesson that peace is always possible when leaders choose dialogue over confrontation, reconciliation over revenge, and the common good over personal interest.